What's up everybody? Fonny here, welcome back to another video. I just got to my favorite tackle store, St. Pete Fishing Outfitters, and in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys how to tie your very own Pompano teasers. This is the time of year to target Pompano, and if you guys are wondering on, how to tie your own Pompano teasers, stick around, I'll show you guys how it's done. All right, I just got in the tackle store. I am gonna walk around and pick out the materials. So the nylons are gonna be over here in this corner. As far as color-wise, I typically just go with the traditional chartreuse and the pink. I'm sure the other colors will work just as good, like the yellow, the white, the purple, but typically I just run pink or the chartreuse. So we'll just grab, actually I already have one on the table. I'll use mine. It's already on the table. So the next thing you'll need is the flash. Something like this here. Flashabou. Or you can go with crystal flash. Something like this or the gold. I like this this gold here. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna grab everything and lay it on the table for you guys so I can show you guys. Got the flash there. Let's grab the nylon. This guy here. Got the nylon. These materials are pretty cheap too, like $2, $3. Let's grab the thread. So when it comes to picking out the thread, you want the Danville 210, something like this here. So the Danville 210 is gonna be the most durable. I wouldn't say the most durable, but it's durable enough so you can tie comfortably without it breaking. Some of these threads are pretty thin and they'll break on you if you put too much tension, but I like the 210 Danville, so we'll put this right here. And there's my guy Cliff. He's the one that taught me how to tie these teasers. All right, the next thing you'll need is the bobbin. Something like this here. Not too bad, $6. So we'll lay this guy right here. That thread's gonna go in between the little clip right here. That way you can start tying. We're also gonna need scissors. You can get away with something like this here. Dr. Slick, $18.99, not too bad. These are super sharp scissors that'll cut through the nylon like butter. So we'll put this right here. The next thing you'll need is the whip finisher. So this is what you're gonna use to basically tie a knot, finish off that threading. Next, you're gonna need glue, something like this here. Wapsi Fly Tires Cement. This will work. All right, the next thing you want is to pick out hooks. And you want to pick out something like this here. This is the size 4 Mustad beak hook in the gold. Something simple. If you don't want to go with these hooks, back here, we have plenty of hooks for tying the Pompano teasers. You definitely want to stick with something small like that, like a size 4. You don't want to go too small or too big. What do you think, Core?
Yeah, I think like a 4 or 2 would be like the range you want to stick in. Otherwise it's going to be too big and it's not going to be able to get in her mouth.
That's right.
That's where I'd go with like a 4. And then you could always change, like if you want a smaller gap, or you could do a wider gap as well. It just depends on what you're doing. If you're doing like fishing from bridges, you can get a thicker hook so that you're not bending out your hook when you're trying to flip the fish. So
that's right. If you have any questions, you can always come in the store and ask Core. But let's talk about the last thing you need, which is the vise. There's a lot of options here when it comes to picking out a vise. And the price ranges from, $20 all the way up to like $300. Something I'd recommend is, especially if you're just starting out, is something like this here, something simple.
I believe that's like a Wapsi vise, a vise from Wapsi. It's just like a intro vise, but it's like once you start getting a little higher end vices, then you won't have to worry about the hook moving as much in the vise, and it has more adjustments to it. So But for tying your teasers and stuff, this is like a great vise for that. But if you're trying to tie big bucktails, then you'd want something a little bigger so it holds like a heavier hook. For example, like one of these guys here. That one will hold a bigger, heavier hook, and it has a sturdier base. So this thing probably weighs like 10 pounds. But
Gotcha.
you could always like interchange some parts.
That's right.
So
yeah, something simple like the Wapsi vise here. So you have the option. You can clamp this on a table or get one of these bases here. I mean, these are pretty cheap too, 25 bucks to 30 bucks for a base. So yeah, let's get tying. Another thing you'll want to have is the stacker. That's it. That should be everything you need to be able to tie your own Pompano teasers. So we got the vise here, the base, super glue, scissors, thread, the bobbin, whip finisher, the flash, and the nylon. That is literally everything you'll need to be able to tie the Pompano teasers. I'll put those back in a bit. I'm just gonna use my own materials, my own hooks. Actually, I don't have the hooks. I'm gonna have to end up buying these hooks. But these are some of the teasers that I tied up in the past. I'll show it to you guys before we get started tying. I got some white teasers, pink, chartreuse. Like I said, chartreuse and pink are my two favorite teasers to tie up. They just work so good. They're like the standard, chartreuse and pink. Because you can go chartreuse jig with pink teaser or vice versa. Pink jig with chartreuse teaser. For today's video, I am gonna use Cliff's vise. Fancy. This is a fancy vise right here. I'm gonna end up buying these hooks. So I'm gonna open up this pack here. All right, let's get started. So first thing you wanna do is make a cut on the nylon bag right in the center, just like that. That way you can pull out the nylon without having to, it's a lot cleaner when you do it this way compared to like, you opening up the bag and just pulling it out like this. So what I like to do is make a cut right in the center, right there. And then now, focus. What you want to do is just pull it out just like that. See? Like that. Next, you want to cut that in half with scissors. Like that. And then just stack that in the stacker. There you have it. Got the nylon already cut up, ready to go. All right, so next, what you want to do is put that hook on the vise, just like that. And this is a really, really good quality vise. So when that thing clamps down on the hook, you can feel it. It's super solid. That hook is not going anywhere. I know with the cheaper vise, sometimes the hook will still move. But I mean, either way, it'll still work. I use like a $25 vise. Just gotta, mess around with it if you don't want to spend too much on a vise, especially if you're just starting out tying teasers. But I got the hook on there. Now I'm gonna start threading the hook, just like that. Thread it up. That way, when you go and glue it, it'll stick better, and it won't. Once that glue dries up, that nylon won't twist and turn on you. Cut off that tag end. Now, there's a couple ways on how to tie the teaser. Here's one way you can tie up the Pompano teaser. So what you want to do is grab that nylon, that much right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. And then just make sure you trim that the edge so it's nice and straight. Place that nylon onto the hook, like so. And then just wrap it. Lightly wrap it first, and then slowly add tension. This is why it's important to have the right thread. The Denville 210 is strong enough so that way when you start adding the pressure, when you're wrapping, it won't break on you. That's it. That's how you wrap the nylon on there. Now, what you want to do is cut that off. Next, add the flash. Lightly wrap it first. And then slowly tighten it like this. It's as if you're tying up the nylon. Looks good right there. Cut off the tag end. You can still use these flash, just leave it down there. And then now what you want to do is use that whip finisher, just like so. I like to make about like four to 5 wraps, something like that. Basically, it's like a overhand knot, really. It's just a better way of tying overhand knot, improved overhand knot. Cinch that down, cut that off. And now what you want to do is use the cement, like that. Bind everything together. Now you just gotta wait for it to dry up, usually 30 minutes or so. And then you should be good to go. That's how you tie a Pompano teaser. So there are a few ways on how to tie the Pompano teasers. Here's another way I like to show you. Let's put the hook on here. Same deal, thread that hook. That way that nylon doesn't slip when you glue it. Again, you don't really need much nylon either, especially for this method. Make sure that thread is hanging close to the thigh of the hook, and then just wrap that thread up like that. Cinch it down and kind of spread that nylon. Hold on tight and then just start wrapping. That should be plenty right there. I know there's a little spot right there. You can see the nylon, but you'll cover that up with the flash. All right, next, I'm just gonna add a few strands of the flash, lay it on top of the hook, like that. Just start wrapping. That looks good to me. Typically, I just trim that nylon first, but either way, you can trim them both at the same time, the flash and the nylon, just like that. That's pretty much it. Now all you have to do is use that whip finisher to create that knot. About like 4 to 5 wraps, just like so. That's it. Pretty simple. Next, all you gotta do is put some glue on there. That is a wrap. That is how you tie your very own Pompano teasers. Hope you find this video helpful. Again, if you guys have any questions, definitely stop by the tackle store, get with Core. He'll answer all of your questions. Maybe he'll even show you how to tie the teasers personally. But before I close out this video, I just want to share with you guys a couple of pompanos caught using my very own, Pompano teasers I tied up. Check it out. There's a fish. Ooh, that might be a good pompano. Heck yeah, baby. First fish of the day. Yeah, that's a good pomp. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. That's the first time I've seen 12 years. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That fall run, man. Pompano fall run, huh? How about that? Yeah, that's a good one. It's going in the cooler. Oh yeah. That right there, my friend, is a solid pompano for the fall. That's what I'm after today. First one of the day right there. Not bad. Let's put him in the cooler. Occasionally with the pompano jig, you'll catch like different species of fish. Like sometimes you'll catch flounder, sometimes cobia. I mean, everything hits this this jig here. Today I'm throwing the chartreuse with the pink teaser. I caught one pompano so far, so we're gonna stick with that for now. We might switch later. Let's see. It's working, so we're sticking to it. Yeah. I remember you from the shop. I caught one pompano. Are you going for pompano too?
Yeah.
Well, they're here. Feels like a good fish here, man. Please stay on. Might be a pompano. Hopefully it's the second one here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's a better one. Oh, there's one right next to him. Good one. Another one, baby. Oh yeah. Second one, that fall run. That fall run, here it is. You know, I was just getting ready to leave because, I mean, the bite have been like, hasn't been consistent. It's every like, you know, 30 minutes you get a fish. But that's what it seems like, at least. Second fish of the day right there. Not bad. A little bit bigger than the first one.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you. Before I close out this video, definitely mention that you watch my videos at checkout to get discount. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.